Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you have not been here before, welcome. You guys, of course, know the drill with that. So today's video is actually going to be my kind of current favorites. So I try to pull things from my collection that I have been using constantly. So not just things that I pull once in a while, but things that I use on kind of an everyday basis to kind of give you a feel for what I'm really liking. So if you're interested in seeing my current beauty favorites, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I'm actually going to talk about two foundations I've really been enjoying. The first one I'm going to mention is by Nona Cosmetics. It's the only foundation that has an SPF of 15, so it looks like this. This isn't like a mainstream brand. This is actually a local brand to where I live in New Brunswick. It's actually in St. John, New Brunswick. The owner is Alicia Anderson. She's pretty amazing. She really built this company from the ground up, and she has quite a few products available now on her website. I will link it down below, of course, if you guys want to check out any of her products. But if you are going to check anything out, I would definitely recommend the foundation. I really love this foundation. I find it to be a really kind of natural finish on the skin. It provides great coverage. I would say probably about a medium coverage, or you could build it up to full, but I like kind of a medium coverage, so I'm really into this. Like I said, it does have SPF in it. It comes with 40 milliliters or 1.4 fluid ounces, which is actually more than the typical kind of foundation product that you buy. And as well, this only retails for 29 Canadian. So that's pretty awesome. I do believe you can purchase if you are in the US or internationally. So you can check that out, of course, on the website. I just love how this kind of looks on my skin. It's a great everyday foundation, and one thing I really enjoy about this is that I find it super long lasting. I actually wore it all this past weekend. I kind of like rediscovered this one, but I've been wearing it a lot recently, and it's so long lasting. Even in the heat, it really works well on me, especially if I set it down with like a setting powder. It works even better. I just think this is kind of a foundation that could work for various skin types. It could be good for normal to dry. Even dry skin, I think, could use this. So I definitely would highly recommend checking this out. Nona Cosmetics is a really cool brand, and if you haven't checked them out already, you definitely should. Alright, the next foundation I'm going to talk about is actually the one I am wearing today. I've talked about this foundation before. I actually mentioned it in a 3 hits 1 shit foundation video. And that foundation is Huda Beauty, the Faux Filter foundation. It looks like this. Now this one does come with, I think it is a little bit more as well. It's 35 mils of product or 1.1 fluid ounces. It's supposed to be a high coverage cream foundation. This and Jouer are pretty comparable in coverage. They're super full coverage, so if you want something that'll cover everything, this will definitely do it. I will say I prefer this one over the Jouer one. Now, if you are sensitive to smell, this has a very strong kind of perfumey scent, so you may like the Jouer one better. I don't have sensitive skin, and I actually like the smell of this. It doesn't bother me at all, but it is quite strong. I just want you guys to know that. But for me, I just find the finish on this a bit better. This is one of the smoothest foundations on my skin that I have ever owned. I can say that honestly, I have been wearing this since probably 7:30, 7 o'clock of this morning, and it's still going strong. I find this doesn't come off until the end of the day. It stays looking really nice on my skin too. It doesn't like fall into lines. Maybe a little bit on my forehead, but I mean, it's because I make a lot of expressions, but other than that, like, you really can't notice, especially from a distance unless you're really close up to me. Like, everything looks super smooth. It really does act almost like a filter on your skin, but I just find this looks so good on me, and I have normal to dry skin, and I don't notice any issues with it. I will say I have more normal skin right now, so I'm not sure if you have super dry skin how this will perform, but I definitely, if you can, check it out. I know the kind of sale, the IB sale is going on right now in Sephora. I would check it out if you can grab your shade, because I just think this is one of the best foundations in my collection. Like, I would definitely rate this in at least the top 3, if not the first favorite of mine, but it's such a good foundation, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. Alright, so one product I did want to mention is the Bobbi Brown Bronzing Powder. I have mine in the lightest shade, Golden Light. So it just comes in a black compact like this. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I wear this quite often. It does have a little mirror. That is the shade in there as well. It is a pretty nice, like, kind of like in-between shade. It's a little like warm but a little cool, so it kind of has a mix, kind of more of a neutral tone. I really enjoy that about it. I will say this is a bit deep when I am super fair, so keep that in mind, and this is the lightest shade. But for me right now, this works really well, and this powder is kind of like one of those no fuss powders. You can just throw it on and it blends out easily, kind of similar to the Marc Jacobs one. I will say this one is smaller and it costs around the same price, so it's not any less expensive. Bobbi Brown is pretty kind of luxury pricing, but I do really like this product and I'll definitely use it up. I know you probably can't tell on camera, but there is quite a bit of a dent in there, so I do really enjoy this one, and I thought I would mention it because I have been wearing it a lot. So one other product I have been wearing a lot, and I know a lot of people are kind of like, I don't really like this product, but I really like this. It's from Natasha Nona. It's the Mini Blush and Glow kind of palette. So that's what it looks like. It has a little mirror, and then it has like the kind of all over like the highlighting powder, which this isn't the super glow, it's just the kind of more natural highlight. And then it does have one of the blushes, and I believe this one, what shade is this in? Does it tell me on here? I'm not sure of the shade that one is in, but it's a really beautiful kind of like corally pink tone with a little bit of gold running through it. I've heard some people say that this doesn't show up well on them, but for me personally, I think for like fair, light, or even medium skin tones, I think this would show up pretty well. I like that it's not too pigmented because you can kind of layer it on and it looks good no matter what. It does, of course, have sheen to it, which I enjoy. And if you like a more natural highlight, this is so beautiful. It just gives you that kind of lit from within kind of glow if you're into that and you don't want something that emphasizes texture. So a lot of times I will throw this on like just for work if I don't want a really intense highlight. And I know a lot of people do prefer a highlight like that, so I thought I would mention it. I do find that I can fit my brushes easily in these pans. You can see it is quite small, but I think it's big enough. Like, I have tons of products like this, so it's really hard to kind of like hit pan on products like this. So I actually think this is a good size. And I think it was only around like 20-something Canadian. It was pretty inexpensive. So if you've been wanting to try something from Natasha Nona, I would recommend picking this up. I've really been loving it, and I've honestly used it almost every single day since I got it. Alright, so since we're talking about face products, I'm going to talk about a highlighter that I feel like does not get much hype here on YouTube at all. This is actually a MAC product. It's the Hyper Real Glow, one of their highlighting palettes. I believe this one is called Flash and Awe. It's the rose kind of gold pinky tone highlights. So it does have a little mirror in here. Mine is super dirty because I use this all the time. So that's what it's looking like. So you get a lighter pink, you get a little bit deeper pink, and this is more of like a rose gold, kind of more of a gold tone pink. But that's what they look like. I love these highlights. They're so pretty. Like, they're so smooth. They almost feel creamy to touch. And that's the shades right there. Aren't they pretty? They're so beautiful, and this guy gets like barely any love on YouTube. I think I've seen a couple people actually mention this when it first released, and then no one kind of talked about it after that. And I thought it was funny because I've reached for this so many times because I love the pink tones in it, and I find it's just like an automatic, glow. Like, it looks absolutely beautiful. There's no like sparkles in it. It's just really that kind of wet, metallic looking highlight. Plus, I love the pink tones. So if you like a pink highlight, I think you would really enjoy this. There is also a gold version of this if you're more into gold. I'm assuming it would be the same formula as this one, but it is still available on the MAC website. I believe it's available on Ulta as well, and now also on Sephora, which is so weird to see MAC on Sephora, but I'm pretty sure I did see this product on there. So if you want to check it out, I'd highly, highly recommend this. It's such a good product and it'll last you forever. Alright, the next product I actually want to talk about is by Milk Makeup. It's the Kush Mascara. So it looks like this. I have been so stoked with this mascara. You guys know I mentioned it in one of my previous videos how much I've been liking this. I think this is such a good one. Like, I bought the mini of this and then I ended up buying the full size because I thought it was so good. So the wand just kind of looks like that. It has a little bit on the end, but that's what it looks like. Nice and fluffy. It picks up a lot of product. It's kind of a mix between like a thicker formula and a wet formula. It's not too far on each end, which I enjoy. And I find this provides volume and length, which I don't get a lot in mascaras. I often will pair mascaras together, as you guys probably already know. But this one I can use on its own. I really like it. It doesn't transfer or flake off. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. You can purchase a mini size as well on Sephora if you don't want to go for the larger size, just to test it out. And I think it's only around 14 bucks and it lasts quite a while. Like minis of mascara last quite a while. So if you want to try it out and you don't want to spend the 29, I think, dollars on it, then I would check it out that way. But it's a really, really good mascara. The next product I'm going to talk about is from Sydney Grace. So if you guys have not heard tell of Sydney Grace, I did mention them in a previous haul video that I got some new cream shadows from them. I'm obsessed with their cream shadows. I'll link Sydney Grace down below. I found them through Instagram and also a couple YouTubers here that have mentioned them previously. They sell kind of like single pan eyeshadows, kind of pressed pigments, shimmers, and mattes. They have bundles and they also have the cream shadows, which I'm going to talk about. The shade that's like my favorite shade is called Warm Weather. It's kind of like a pinky tone shade. And this is a newer one from them. I think it's only around 8 bucks to get this. And it's like a squeezy tube. Lots of product in there. So I'll put just a little bit here and I'm going to swatch it out for you. This will last you forever too because there's so much product. So that's the product right there, that pink tone. Isn't that pretty? That's my favorite shade. These last so long. They don't crease. I am actually wearing one currently. I'm wearing Vibrant Madness, which is another favorite shade of mine. These are only 8 bucks. I will link them down below. You should definitely check them out. They have pretty good shipping as well, even to us here in Canada, which I appreciate because sometimes it's quite expensive to ship from smaller brands to Canada or even overseas. I'm not sure about overseas if they ship there, but you can definitely check that out. But I definitely think you should look at the products because I think they're really great quality. Specifically the cream shadows, I own 5 and they're all pretty much the same consistency. So if you're into cream shadows, you like something that's long lasting, that's fully opaque upon application and actually stays on the eyes, I would highly recommend these. So I have 2 products left that I want to mention. The next product, I've been buying these for a while. I think I have about 4 shades now. These are the Lawless Beauty Liquid Lipsticks. I love these. These don't get tons of hype either on YouTube. I think these are really good. They are quite pricey though. They're like $30 Canadian. I think they're about 25 US. But I like these. They're such a good formula. They have a nice scent. Lawless Beauty is known for kind of being a clean brand, so that is also nice as well. But they have a really nice scent to them. I'm not sure what she put in there to make the scent so like luxurious, but it definitely smells luxurious. This shade that I have is Leo. I have 3 other shades as well. I'll kind of like swatch that out for you. And this has just like a normal doe foot applicator, easy to apply, of course. I love the packaging. The packaging actually that it comes in is super extra, but this is the shade Leo. It's kind of like a peachy nude pink shade, and there's quite a few shades to choose from. She is, of course, expanding her line, so there's a powder now and a foundation, and I'm sure more shades of this will come. But I really like this formula. It's pretty long lasting. It's comfortable on the lips. It's not too drying, but it does have a good wear time. So if you wanted to check these out, I definitely would. I really like Lawless Beauty. I like what they stand for, and I really love their liquid lipsticks. Alright, the last product I'm going to talk about I have been using consistently for probably 2 to 3 months, and this one's almost out and I'm kind of sad. I'm going to try to repurchase this. This is actually by Morphe Cosmetics, so it's the Continuous Setting Mist. So this is what it looks like. It's basically an aerosol setting spray, which is really nice because it kind of just creates like a fine, you can see there, it kind of creates like a fine mist. Like there's no like big drops that are going to go on your face. It's not going to screw your makeup up. It's just really going to help everything melt together on your face and look kind of more natural, I guess you could say. And it kind of, this definitely for sure makes your makeup, I feel like it does help the longevity of my makeup if I wear this. I've heard some people say they feel like it's sticky, but I don't feel like that way at all. You get about, I will say I wish it was a little bigger or they sold a jumbo size because I find this runs out pretty quickly if you're using it consistently. It's around $20 Canadian, I think 15 American on the Morphe website, which it is on the higher kind of in between end. It's not the highest setting spray. Obviously there's some that are like $50 or more. So this is kind of on the in between range. If you wanted to try it, I don't think it's a bad price. And I think it's one of the better setting sprays on the market, especially if you don't want to screw your makeup up, because I always worry about that with nozzles on setting sprays. A lot of times they're good, but most of the time they're bad. This one's really awesome. Definitely check it out. I have been using this consistently. If you follow me on Instagram, you definitely know that. But it is definitely worth the 20 bucks or $15 depending on where you live. So definitely check that out. Alright guys, so that is actually going to do it for this video. That's all kind of my favorites that I wanted to mention, the things that I've been using consistently. Like I said, if you do follow me on Instagram, then you'll know some of the products that I wear a lot. You'll see it listed always in my description, kind of on my Instagram pictures. But I love all those products and I have been using them a lot. It's not just something I wore like 1 or 2 times and said I love it. So if you guys, of course, want to check these out, like I said, I'll link everything down below. If you have any questions or comments for me, of course, let me know. Let me know also some of your favorite products and why you've been liking them. But I just wanted to kind of get that done since I haven't done a favorites video in a while. But thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.